Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're embarking on, well, a truly unique journey, venturing into some remarkably unexpected corners of digital interaction.
Uh-huh.
This isn't your typical deep dive into research papers or anything like that. Our main source for today's exploration is actually a single, pretty compelling audio file, kingburrito.mpp3.
Right.
So get ready to hear a candid, often quite hilarious glimpse into how people genuinely connect and, create online, all captured within just one spontaneous, sprawling social audio conversation.
Yeah, and you can almost hear that energy right away.
Exactly. In fact, you can hear that immediate sort of unpolished energy of the space right from the start. Like this little snippet here plays audio snippet. Dream, 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 dream. When I'm with you, dream. All I have to do is dream.
That audio snippet, it immediately signals something different, doesn't it? It sets this wonderfully unusual, maybe slightly off-kilter tone for what we're about to unpack.
It truly does. So our mission today really is to skillfully navigate this rich, sometimes wonderfully bewildering landscape of dialogue. We'll be pulling out the most interesting insights, perhaps some surprising facts, and those, quiet, genuine moments of shared humanity that often bubble up when people are just being themselves in these digital spaces.
And this source, despite its informal, totally spontaneous nature, it offers a real treasure trove of information, doesn't it?
It absolutely does.
It sheds light on fascinating aspects of modern communication, the evolving role of technology and creativity, and even chronicles the sprawling kind of fantastical genesis of a global business venture, all just happening within this one conversation.
Yeah.
It's a remarkable window into how digital environments, particularly these live social audio platforms, foster unique forms of connection and creativity, often blurring the lines between the real, the absurd, and, well, everything in between.
Indeed. So prepare yourselves for a deep dive that promises a blend of genuine humor, some truly surprising technological insights, and I think a profound sense of authentic human connection. It's a bit of a wild ride, but one that offers incredible insights into the nuanced dynamics of our increasingly connected world and how communities are truly built within it.
I couldn't agree more. It's fascinating stuff.
All right, let's unpack this by starting with the very foundation of how we present ourselves online. Digital identity.
Okay.
In the digital realm, identity is often fluid, isn't it? A curated self presented to the world.
Definitely.
So our deep dive today offers two distinct lenses into these online personas. First, the individual, maybe carefully constructed profile, and second, the collective, spontaneously generated shared reality that we see in the audio.
That's a great way to frame it. And for our first lens, let's examine an individual persona through the profile of @Trombolese. This is a user on Bluesky, found at trombolese.bluesky.social.
Bluesky, right, relatively newer platform.
Exactly. It's worth noting that Bluesky is, well, newer. It's decentralized, and it gains significant traction as an alternative to, say, Twitter or X. Its design often fosters a somewhat different community dynamic. But because it's newer, there isn't extensive historical data available for this user on Bluesky. So our analysis will primarily be a snapshot, focusing on their current self-description and interests as they choose to present them right now.
Gotcha. Okay, let's dive into this self-description then, because it's remarkably rich and layered. @Trombolese identifies as a tacky wig maker in the MS Wars. I'm very serious and probably stoned. I'd like to make someone smile today. I love Eurovision Song Contest and would like to try carpentry maybe one day.
Wow.
It's a lot to unpack in just a few lines, right?
Absolutely. Starting with tacky wig maker, that immediately suggests a creative, perhaps eccentric, artistic personality. The term tacky isn't necessarily negative here, I don't think. It applies maybe a playful or unconventional style, perhaps someone involved in performance, cosplay, or avant-garde fashion who embraces a certain kind of kitsch aesthetic. It sets a wonderfully distinctive tone right away.
Yeah, it's definitely memorable. Then there's that brilliant line, I'm very serious and probably stoned. What do you make of that juxtaposition?
It's fantastic, isn't it? It highlights a very self-aware, humorous tone.
Yeah.
Blending sincerity with this laid-back, almost countercultural vibe.
Right.
It clearly indicates a personality that doesn't take itself too seriously, using humor to connect rather than adhering rigidly to formality. It signals a desire to engage on a more relaxed, sort of authentic level.
And their stated desire, I'd like to make someone smile today, that tells us something pretty profound about their social intent, doesn't it?
Indeed. It suggests a positive, community-oriented mindset. It indicates a clear desire to contribute lighthearted or uplifting content within their digital interactions. It's about being a positive force in the online space, which, let's be honest, can be quite rare and refreshing sometimes.
Very true. Now, diving into their stated interests, Eurovision Song Contest is a prominent one. For those listening who might be unfamiliar, Eurovision is this massive international music competition, renowned for its flamboyant performances, incredibly diverse fan base, and often very extravagant costumes. How does this interest align with the tacky wig maker persona?
Oh, it's a perfect fit. Think about Eurovision's theatricality, the over-the-top outfits, and yes, often elaborate wigs.
Absolutely.
This interest directly connects to the tacky wig maker persona. It suggests a love for global pop culture, camp aesthetics, and perhaps a flair for the dramatic. It provides a cultural touchstone that helps define their creative world.
Makes sense. And what about their other stated interest?
Well,
Wanting to try carpentry maybe one day? That seems like a pretty stark contrast to wig making.
it certainly does. This hints at a curiosity for hands-on, practical skills, which is quite different from the more performative or aesthetic focus of wig making.
Yeah.
This combination reveals a truly multifaceted personality, interested in both highly creative and more technical or practical pursuits. It shows a remarkable breadth of curiosity and suggests a person who enjoys diverse forms of creation.
Interesting. The phrase "in the MS wars," though, that introduces a layer of ambiguity, doesn't it?
It absolutely does. This phrase is quite opaque without further context.
Right.
It could genuinely refer to advocacy or personal experience related to multiple sclerosis, the chronic illness, indicating a serious personal stake or involvement in a health-related community.
Right, that's one possibility.
Alternatively, in the context of online communities, it might be a playful or niche reference, perhaps to a specific fandom, a gaming community, or maybe a cultural debate where wars is used metaphorically.
Okay.
While it's ambiguous, it suggests involvement in a cause or a community struggle, adding a layer of depth that hints at personal commitment or identity beyond just hobbies.
And the handle itself, at Trombolis, that has its own fascinating cultural backstory.
It does. The handle is almost certainly inspired by a widely known, misheard lyric from Gala's 1997 Eurodance hit, Freed from Desire.
Oh, I know that one. My love has got no money.
Exactly. Many listeners famously mistook strong beliefs for Trombolis, imagining it as some kind of fictional musical instrument.
Right, right.
This particular misinterpretation became a popular inside joke in 1990s pop culture, often discussed in online forums. So this choice directly ties the handle to 1990s Euro dance music, reinforcing the user's stated interest in Eurovision.
Ah, clever.
Yeah, opting for this handle suggests a nostalgic or perhaps ironic nod to that era, solidifying a playful, quirky, and culturally aware online persona.
It's truly remarkable how much a few lines of self-description can reveal about a person's digital identity, or at least the one they're projecting.
Absolutely.
However, you mentioned the inherent limitations of this kind of data.
Yes. Without access to @Trombolis's historical posts, follower trends, or activity history on Bluesky or maybe other platforms, it's not really possible to fully analyze their persona's evolution over time. Bluesky, as we noted, is relatively new, gaining traction more recently. Their presence there might be quite fresh compared to older, more established platforms like X or Twitter. This means our current analysis is limited to the snapshot provided by their profile description.
Right, just this moment in time. So, any thoughts on how a persona like this might evolve? Speculatively, of course.
We can certainly speculate. As a wig maker, @Trombolis might evolve their craft, maybe moving from a hobbyist to a professional or semi-professional role, perhaps even influencing niche trends. The tacky descriptor itself could shift with changing online aesthetics or the growth of subcultures.
Yeah.
Their love for Eurovision, being a long-running global event, would likely span many years, potentially influencing their wig-making aesthetic or the content they create. Regarding platform presence, if they were active elsewhere, like on X, they might have migrated to Bluesky due to changes in platform dynamics or maybe a desire for a different community vibe, adapting their personas slightly to fit the new environment.
That raises a really important question for all of us navigating online spaces, doesn't it? How much can we truly know about an online persona from just a snapshot? And what does this tell us about the fluid and sometimes ephemeral nature of digital identity?
It's a challenging thought. It serves as a powerful reminder that online identities are dynamic constructs, constantly being built and rebuilt. Without that longitudinal view, we're always seeing just one moment in a continuous evolving process. It encourages us to be curious about the unseen layers of digital selves, I think.
Well put. Okay, moving on now into the thick of it. Our first stop on this journey through kingburrito.mpp3 immediately throws us into the unpredictable nature of social audio platforms. It's a raw, unpolished environment.
Unpredictable is certainly a gentle way to put it. These spaces are frequently characterized by a surprising array of technical glitches and, well, outright unexpected behaviors. The source material is absolutely riddled with examples.
Oh, absolutely. We constantly hear distinct frustrations. People saying things like the space closed down, users being booted out, and even individuals getting removed from the space the second they accept a microphone invitation.
Right. That specific issue seemed to be a recurring known bug that participants were actively trying to figure out. What's more, there are candid admissions about the inherent glitchiness of these spaces. Intriguingly, even the host of the space admits to running two different devices as hosting at the same time, and quite humorously states this makes them partially guilty of contributing to the instability.
Huh. Taking responsibility.
It's fascinating, isn't it? That immediate awareness and even a bit of self-blame for the tech's quirks.
It really is, and what's truly compelling here is how these technical limitations are far from minor annoyances. They profoundly impact the user experience, directly affecting participation and the overall flow of the conversation.
Definitely.
You can almost feel the palpable frustration when a user blurts out, "This space is effed up," or that truly poignant, almost desperate plea, "I need a friend, I feel alone." That hits hard, especially in a space designed for connection.
It does. These aren't just fleeting complaints. These are moments where the technology directly gets in the way of human connection. It's creating a profound sense of isolation, even though you're supposedly in a social space surrounded by potentially hundreds of people. This really highlights the inherent challenges and vulnerabilities of live social audio. Unlike, say, a pre-recorded podcast or a carefully edited video, these live environments are subject to immediate, real-time instability, making sustained interaction a real challenge.
Given all these issues, it really makes you wonder about the underlying architecture of these platforms. What does this prevalence of glitches actually suggest about their maturity?
Right.
Are they simply growing pains of a technology finding its feet where maybe immediacy and spontaneity are prioritized? Or are there more fundamental trade-offs being made between the appeal of live interaction and the kind of stability and reliability we typically expect from more established digital communication tools?
That's a crucial question. And how do users adapt? How do they cope with these persistent digital quirks, often right there in the moment?
Yeah, how do they deal?
Well, the source itself gives us a perfect, almost comically illustrative anecdote. Someone recounts being told playfully to report your space, but they took it literally. They actually did it.
No way, really? They reported the space.
Yes. And then, guess what? The space was indeed reported. It led to this amazing misinterpretation, where the host then found out and exclaimed, "My space was reported because I told you to do so, because I never said you will take it seriously."
Oh my goodness, that's incredible.
It perfectly encapsulates how the informal, chatty nature of these spaces, combined with those inherent technical oddities, can lead to genuine, albeit often humorous confusion and apparently real consequences.
That's brilliant. And that kind of situation seems to feed into a broader folk theory that gets actively discussed in the source, the idea that the moment you accept a mic invite, you are being removed from the space.
Exactly. That's not just a random, isolated observation, is it? It points to users collectively trying to decipher and navigate what appears to be a consistent pattern of behavior within the platform. They're like digital detectives, trying to understand the unseen, often quirky mechanics of the software environment they're in. They're essentially developing this kind of shared understanding about the platform's algorithms, trying to impose some order on what often feels like digital chaos just so they can keep talking to each other.
That collective sense-making, even when it sounds utterly frustrating, really is powerful. It demonstrates how communities form their own operating procedures when faced with unpredictable technology.
It does, and it's a powerful aspect of early platform adoption, embracing the warts and all, because the desire for connection is strong enough to push past the technical hurdles.
So shifting gears slightly, but still very much related to the quirks of digital communication, let's explore another rich vein in this audio file: the art of miscommunication and the humor it generates.
Oh, this source is a gold mine for that. Kingburrito.mp3 is packed with instances where words are misheard, where voice-to-text errors create just unintentional comedy, and where participants engage in playful, sometimes maybe even intentional misunderstandings.
And the captions seem key here.
Yes, the live captions, in particular, seem to be a major culprit or perhaps more accurately, a catalyst for much of this amusement.
Like, for example, the live captions famously misinterpret bedroom desire as red room desire, which then leads to this very amusing observation about red bumps.
Yes, which naturally sparks this wave of laughter across the space. It's a perfect example of how technology can inject unexpected humor into a conversation.
Uh-huh.
And later, the name Kin Murray, just for a moment, fleetingly and perhaps fatefully, becomes King Burrito.
Ah, the origin story. A tiny error that, as we'll definitely get into, inadvertently sparks the entire fantastical Kim Burrito saga that defines so much of this deep dive.
Yep, that's the spark.
It's truly amazing how small linguistic or technical errors can spiral into such expansive shared narratives.
It absolutely is. And then there's that particularly memorable, truly hilarious slip of the tongue combined with a caption error that transforms into the truly bizarre phrase, gay massage, broken liquid finger.
I remember hearing that, just pure accidental absurdity, and everyone present found it deeply amusing. You can hear the collective laughter.
Oh, yeah.
It's quite remarkable how digital communication, especially with real-time live captioning, introduces these entirely new layers of misinterpretation. It's not just about what you say anymore, it's what the technology thinks you said and then displays to everyone else, adding this surprising, unpredictable element.
That translation layer is crucial, and the reliance on voice typing versus traditional manual typing is explicitly mentioned as a factor. One speaker notes, "This is what can happen when I use my voice to type instead of my typing finger." This highlights something significant. Our interfaces, the tools we use, profoundly influence the nuances of our communication, often in unexpected ways that inadvertently generate comedy or misunderstanding.
And the participants clearly revel in these funny captions, don't they? They take what could be frustrating errors and turn them into shared moments of amusement.
They really do. It creates shared moments of laughter, bonding, and finding joy in the imperfections of the digital medium itself.
Yeah.
You can almost picture it. Someone may be, as they suggest, falling asleep, and then noticing funny captions popping up on their screen, leading to this collective, slightly disoriented, but totally human experience of shared amusement.
Ah.
It's a powerful reminder that even when technology tries to streamline communication, it can sometimes produce its own unique brand of comedic chaos.
And what's compelling is how the community in that space doesn't just tolerate it, they actively embrace these moments. They turn potential communication breakdowns into shared inside jokes, strengthening their group dynamic.
Exactly. It shows the resilience and adaptability of human interaction in digital spaces. They make it work.
So from navigating these everyday digital pressures and embracing miscommunication, our source material takes an even more imaginative turn. It showcases the boundless, often utterly absurd creativity that can just erupt when minds converge online. Let's dive into what is arguably the most delightfully absurd and fascinating part of our deep dive: the genesis and sprawling global vision of Kim Burrito.
Understatement of the year, perhaps.
Yeah.
This isn't just a fleeting idea for a product. It's presented as an entire universe with meticulous, albeit comedic, detail.
Right.
It's described with genuine aspiration, almost as the new trash food, fast food that is going to take over the world. You can practically feel the conviction behind that comedic assertion, even amidst the humor, as if they're truly pitching a disruptive, if bizarre, startup.
It's got that energy. What's truly fascinating here is how the sheer absurdity is woven together with genuine comedic genius. It functions as a brilliant satire, not just a funny idea for its own sake. How does it manage to do that?
Well, when they declare Kim Burrito as the new trash food, fast food that is going to take over the world, they're not merely being silly. They're subtly mocking the unchecked ambition of global commerce and the pervasive, often unchallenged influence of fast food conglomerates. The comedic element sharpens the critique, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And then there's the truly outlandish idea of these burritos being 100% made of non-biological products, specifically all the substances that a plant can steal and store and grab from the surface of the earth.
That detail is absolutely wild and wildly clever. It serves as this darkly humorous, almost dystopian commentary on our increasingly processed diets and the lengths companies might go to for profit, even if it means blurring the lines of what food even is. It highlights how these informal, spontaneous digital settings can become incubators for incredibly creative, collaborative brainstorming, where the boundaries of reality are happily suspended to playfully expose deeper truths about our society and its consumer tendencies.
And they absolutely lean into it, building out this world with incredible detail. One of the participants declares with full mock conviction, Kim Burrito people in 10 years will not remember. They will ask, what is McDonald's? Where's McDonald's?
Total market domination envisioned as a cultural revolution designed to completely erase existing culinary giants.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
it is.
And the burritos themselves, their composition is even more outlandish. Beyond just non-biological products, they're described as being made from all the substances that a plant can steal and store and grab from the surface of the earth.
Right, that pseudoscience bit.
Exactly. This pseudoscientific, almost ecological justification just makes the whole concept even funnier. It gives it this bizarre internal logic, which is a huge part of its charm. It's like a corporate branding exercise straight out of a parallel, very strange universe, complete with its own bizarre sustainability claims.
Definitely. And building on that, the Kim Burrito empire demonstrates this astonishing conceptual progression. It refuses to stop at just food. It rapidly expands into a multifaceted product line with increasingly bizarre, vaguely disturbing purported effects.
Yes, we hear about spin-offs like Kim Burrito having fun, Kim Burrito with a lot of sugar, and then the more exotic Kim Burrito with H Green Sugar Baby, and even Kim Burrito Schmika.
Right, the product line expands.
The conceptual progression is remarkable. It morphs from a simple food item to other consumables, and then audaciously, even to forms of energy.
And there's that clear, biting, satirical element in making traditionally illegal substances like the H Green Sugar Baby legal and will be controlled by the government.
A playful but pointed jab at real-world drug policies and state control. Exactly.
Right.
And they don't stop there. They talk about Kimberto cigarettes, implying this whole new level of addiction and consumption beyond just eating.
Wow.
And then it goes even further. We hear about Kimberto oil and Kimberto diesel as fuel sources, but playfully called Kimberto's residuals. It's this complete, sprawling, dystopian, yet incredibly humorous vision for the future. Not just food, but energy, pleasure, even human biology gets involved.
Yeah.
It's a testament to the comprehensive nature of their shared fantasy.
That biology part is perhaps the weirdest and most unsettling bit.
It has to be. The idea that consuming these burritos leads to specific physical modifications.
Yeah.
Your body gets modified and adapted in such a way that, first of all, you lose the sense of the smell to begin with, so you don't smell anything. And second, it's addictive.
Loss of smell and addiction.
And perhaps even more outlandishly, the claim that people will, in 10 years, they will forget about what sex was because they will think about pleasure and they will think about smoking Kimberto cigarettes that will become legal.
Whoa.
So it's a total reimagining of societal pleasures and human experience, all seen through the bizarre, all-consuming lens of a burrito. It's a genuinely subversive take on consumerism, really.
This truly raises an important question. How does this playful narrative, starting with a simple food item and a misheard caption, spiral into a complete, fully articulated economic and political system? Because it does. The ultimate goal seems to be global currency and power.
That's where the brilliance of their collective imagination really shines. We hear the detailed, if comically absurd, mechanics of Kimberto currency, which is going to be minted by the people that are going to buy Kimberto in the process of eating a Kim burrito.
Okay, so eating creates currency. How?
And then how is it minted? What you are doing, all the energy is involved in the digesting the Kim burrito. It will have a USB port in your tummy connected to a mining device.
No, a USB port in your tummy mining currency while you digest. That's genuinely mind-bending and absolutely hilarious.
Isn't it? This concept just masterfully intertwines consumption, technology, and global domination in one go, creating this perfectly self-contained, if ridiculously economic ecosystem.
It speaks to a shared human desire, perhaps, for a simplified, universally accepted, controlled global economy, albeit one powered quite literally by our stomachs.
Exactly. And the clever inclusion of no pumping nor dumping in relation to this currency, that's a subtle, astute nod to familiar financial market talk, adds a layer of sophisticated satire to the fantasy, showing they're pulling from real-world concepts to build their absurd empire.
Absolutely. And then the playful proposal for one host to become the empress of this new world order, which immediately sparks the question, are we sure I won't face challenge from the Emperor Burrito? It just cements the deeply collaborative and highly immersive fantasy of power they're building. They're not just talking about an idea, they're quite literally building a fantastical world and its governance structure together in real time, right there in the digital space.
It truly solidifies the ambitious idea that Burrito is the most accepted payment all over the world. Use Burrito that money can buy for everything else.
Universal currency.
And that audacious challenge, Burrito want your country. Can you give your country to Burrito? It just demonstrates the expansive, all-encompassing nature of this fantasy empire, demanding total surrender of sovereignty to the burrito.
It's both hilarious and, yeah, a sharp commentary on unchecked corporate power, maybe.
I think so.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the Burrito saga isn't just a funny story. It's a profound illustration of how online communities can collaboratively build fully realized, internally logical fantasy worlds that cleverly satirize our real-world obsessions with commerce and control. It's a powerful testament to the boundless creativity that can emerge when minds converge in these informal digital spaces, creating entire alternate realities. It absolutely is. This section alone could fill a deep dive.
Indeed. So moving on from the ambitious, world-dominating vision of Burrito, let's delve into another fascinating and equally rich aspect of this deep dive. How these creative minds are exploring and engaging with cutting-edge tools in the digital age, particularly artificial intelligence.
Ah, yes, the AI discussion was genuinely insightful. The conversation touches extensively on using AI for video generation and 3D animation. They reference specific tools, often pretty bleeding-edge ones, like Runway.
Which is an AI video generation platform, right?
Exactly. And Midjourney, which is a popular image generator known for its stunning aesthetic. Also Snowpixel, Automatic 111.
That's the open source interface for stable diffusion models, yeah.
That's the one. And even the older pioneering Deep Dream generator gets a mention. It's clear AI isn't just theoretical for them. It's a tangible tool they are actively engaging with, experimenting with, and discussing its practical implications for creative work.
What's particularly fascinating about their discussion is their pragmatic exploration of both the immense benefits and the inherent limitations of AI for artists. One speaker candidly admits that AI is a godsend for those who can't draw. That really highlights AI's democratizing potential, doesn't it? Making impressive visuals accessible to people without traditional artistic skills or extensive training.
Absolutely. But it also brings a critical tension into sharp focus. While tools like Deep Dream, which was notoriously not easy to use back in the day, have now evolved and taken out a few of the boys by becoming more user-friendly.
Right.
Others, like Runway, doesn't allow me to do everything I want to do. That highlights the trade-off between accessibility and granular creative control. It's a recurring theme in the adoption of new technologies.
Yeah.
How much simplicity do you sacrifice for precise command?
And there's a clear distinction made between cultivating a strong prompt game, the skill in crafting precise text commands to guide the AI, what we call prompt engineering, and what they call the invisible line of prop in tools like Midjourney. This invisible line suggests that some AI tools, while seemingly simple to use on the surface, are doing a lot of sophisticated, pre-programmed, or behind-the-scenes generation and interpretation.
Precisely. This means less direct user control over every brushstroke, perhaps, but potentially delivering stunning outputs more easily for a broader user base.
Okay.
It points to this fascinating ongoing tension in AI creativity. How much of the final output is truly the human artist's unique input, and how much is the algorithm's inherent, almost built-in artistry or interpretation? That's a crucial distinction, and one that sparks a lot of debate in the creative world.
One participant perfectly articulates what they call the struggle of tech people who made it do a thing it's not supposed to do. They compare their intricate work to the precise craft of a watchmaker. I found that analogy particularly insightful.
It really is.
A watchmaker creates something incredibly complex that others might just see as a beautiful, shiny object, oblivious to the gears and springs inside.
It's a brilliant analogy that speaks to the hidden complexity behind seemingly simple AI interfaces. It also raises important questions for the broader artistic community. What are the implications of AI allowing non-tech-savvy individuals to create impressive visuals so easily?
Right.
How does this challenge traditional skills, craftsmanship, and even the very definition of art itself? Is the value in the final output or in the human effort and skill behind it? These are big questions.
They really are. The vivid example of creating a Breaking Bad Lego people scene with AI is a brilliant illustration of this new frontier.
Yeah, that was cool.
And they talk about using AI extensively for concept art and brainstorming ideas, generating a bulk set to kickstart projects. It sounds incredibly efficient for initial stages.
It does. But despite the obvious power of these tools, they also, frankly, discuss the struggle. Right? The struggle to fully incorporate AI creatively into their workflow, to address the fine details and the nuances of the lighting, or to precisely create textures and weird patterns that maybe only a human eye can truly envision.
That points to AI's current, very real limitations. It's incredibly powerful for broad strokes, initial concepts, rapid prototyping. But that nuanced human touch, the precise artistic vision, it seems it's still crucial for intricate control and the ultimate refinement of a piece. It suggests an evolving partnership, maybe.
So what we see here is a dynamic, evolving interplay between human creative vision and algorithmic capability, constantly pushing boundaries. But it also highlights where human intuition, our unique ability to perceive nuance and imbue work with specific emotion, remains indispensable. AI is a powerful co-pilot, perhaps, but the human artist is still in the cockpit for those delicate landings.
Well said. Okay, let's shift focus to something perhaps even more deeply human and universally understood than AI music. Our source material truly sings with another universal language.
Ah, yes. The spontaneous soundtrack to the chaos. The audio is absolutely filled with spontaneous singing, quoting song lyrics, referencing a wide array of musicians.
Yeah.
Participants just frequently burst into songs, sometimes off-key, sometimes with mixed-up lyrics. It seems almost like an immediate reflex, a natural expression.
It really does. You hear snippets of everything from classics like Lonely is the Night to Dream Don't Dream It's Over, Freed from Desire, Satisfaction, I Can't Smile Without You, My Way. Even a Never Gonna Give You Up makes an appearance.
Of course it does, and more than words and the poignant. The drugs don't work. They also mention diverse artists like Gala, Eiffel 65, Benny Benassi, The Weather Girls, Isaac Hayes. It's quite a mix of genres and eras.
It really is. And what's truly compelling here is how music consistently serves as this common, almost primal language, an immediate emotional outlet within this digital space. It's a universal bridge.
It is. And it's clearly not about professional performance, not at all. One person openly admits to being very bad at singing, yet the act itself is described by others in the space as beautiful and heartfelt. This underscores that the function of music here isn't about skill or perfection. It functions as this powerful bonding mechanism, a direct way to express feelings that maybe words alone can't fully capture. And it's a source of shared cultural reference points that immediately connect people across different backgrounds.
Despite the unpolished, sometimes raw nature of the singing, its authenticity fosters genuine connection. That raw authenticity really shines through.
It really does.
It makes you wonder, though, how does this spontaneous, often off-key singing truly stand apart from a polished professional performance? And what does that contrast reveal about the very definition of authenticity in these digital communities?
It powerfully suggests that authenticity isn't about perfection, but about the courage to participate, to share something vulnerable of yourself.
Yeah.
As one person notes, it takes a lot to put yourself out there, and you absolutely do. You don't even feel the fear anymore. You just do it anyway. That's a profound statement about overcoming self-consciousness in online spaces.
That's really something. And there's also that strong element of nostalgia, isn't there? Mentions of earliest childhood memories associated with particular songs.
Absolutely. It highlights how music ties them not just to a shared present, but to shared pasts, deep emotional foundations. It's like a collective emotional recall triggered by a familiar tune, creating an immediate sense of shared history and comfort within the fleeting digital interaction.
That's powerful. And finally, within this rich creative landscape, there's this palpable, profound drive to create and, more specifically, to leave a lasting legacy.
Right. The conversation touches on deeply personal aspirations like writing books. And it's presented not just as personal fulfillment or a hobby, but something deeper, more enduring, leaving a legacy, creating a living record of what your life in the sport has been.
Sport, they're possibly meaning their online community, their chosen field, or just life's journey itself.
It could be any of those,
Yeah.
And that's powerfully contrasted with the very real fear of losing a work of a lifetime, like extensive family history research.
Yeah.
Someone mentions their mother's collection of research, saying her research regarding the family history is like, wow, it's a work of a lifetime.
Oh.
The value placed on that kind of permanent physical record is really striking, especially in a digital age where so much feels ephemeral.
That brings up a truly important question for all of us navigating the digital age. How does the rapid pace, the often ephemeral nature of digital platforms both facilitate and complicate creating and preserving these legacies?
It's truly a double-edged sword, isn't it?
Yeah.
Digital tools can help disseminate work incredibly widely, but the fear of losing valuable, perhaps non-digitized work like that family history research, it's a very real anxiety. The question of digital permanence is a significant one.
It is, and there's even that moment where one participant feels the subtle pressure of others saying, I want to write a book as well. It shows this shared ambition, mutual encouragement within the community to create something lasting, a collective push towards impactful self-expression.
So what we see here is a profound testament to that inherent human desire for self-expression and lasting impact, even when we're operating in these fluid, sometimes ephemeral digital spaces.
Yeah.
The tools might change and the media might evolve, but the underlying need to create something meaningful that endures seems constant.
Well said. Okay, let's transition now to a truly fascinating aspect. The intricate interplay between the personal and the public within these shared digital spaces.
Right, it's all about how people navigate that often blurred line. KingBurrito.mpp3 offers these poignant moments where participants bravely share personal vulnerabilities or engage in disarming, self-deprecating humor, often just seamlessly intertwined with the general chaos of the live space.
Like owning their quirks, absolutely. One speaker humorously identifies themselves saying, the joke is that I'm quite a serious person because I don't understand why, embracing this quirky, almost contradictory identity while clearly seeking connection. And another just directly describes themselves as a pain in the ass, which immediately disarms potential criticism and invites a more relaxed interaction.
Yes, and we hear that recurring playful joke about being Mickey and you know me even though nobody knows me, embracing this almost anonymous celebrity while simultaneously reaching out for recognition and a sense of belonging. What's truly fascinating is precisely how these personal revelations, however small or humorous, manage to create such a profound sense of intimacy in what is essentially a public forum.
It's quite counterintuitive sometimes. There's an undeniable acceptance of flaws, a collective embrace of quirky, often self-deprecating identities that actively helps forge deeper bonds among participants.
Yeah.
There's even that particularly telling moment where one speaker playfully expresses, I don't like that you're a very serious person. I know a part of you that is not serious.
And you know what? That suggests a deeper, more nuanced understanding. It's not just challenging a persona, but showing a deeper, more nuanced understanding and appreciation of the other person's full, complex character beyond the surface.
Right.
It speaks to the layers of genuine connection that can develop, moving beyond just surface-level interaction to a more authentic, vulnerable exchange.
Yeah.
It's in those moments that the social audio truly comes through, fostering deep empathy.
Absolutely. It's precisely those moments, like the embarrassing singing we discussed, where participants show this impressive willingness to put themselves out there despite openly admitting their perceived flaws. This shared vulnerability creates an incredibly relatable, authentic atmosphere. It breaks down those often impersonal barriers that can characterize online interaction, fostering an environment where imperfection isn't just tolerated, but perhaps even celebrated as part of genuine human connection.
Building on that, the participants also show a very clear, conscious awareness of an unseen audience.
Right, alongside explicitly acknowledging defined roles within the space. For example, that direct, almost procedural statement, you are the host, I am the speaker. It immediately establishes a structure. How do these seemingly rigid roles shape the interaction, even if they're then playfully subverted?
Well, the speaker, for instance, humorously asserts, my creation is Kim Burrito, and then playfully adds that this creation is worse than me, which means better than me, a self-deprecating twist on their own proclaimed creative power, but still asserting ownership.
Yeah.
And there's that curious dynamic where one person describes the other as a scary, I won't say monster because you're not a monster, but it's something that scares because you're scary. Acknowledging a position of influence or perhaps a commanding presence within the group dynamic.
Interesting. So these roles, even when infused with humor, create this underlying framework for the conversation.
Yes, an unspoken set of rules that subtly yet powerfully governs the flow and dynamic of the conversation. This brings up a really intriguing point, actually. What does it truly mean when one participant is considered a celebrity just because they're being on the internet and having their voice heard? We hear someone say, technically you're like a celebrity to me, Kay, because you're on the internet and I hear your voice, and so technically you're a celebrity. That speaks volumes about the evolving nature of online influence, doesn't
It
it?
really does.
And that building public mentality where mere presence and an audible voice can create this sense of notability, even micro-celebrity status. It fundamentally changes the dynamic when they know there are, say, 15 people on here actively watching and listening.
Yeah, that awareness matters.
And the host, meanwhile, is playfully yet tellingly granted supreme lord powers. It further illustrates how these roles are both playfully assigned and implicitly understood to govern the space, granting a certain authority, shaping how people interact.
Absolutely. And finally, within this broader landscape of digital interaction, we get this glimpse into participants' preferences for different social platforms.
Yes, the Bluesky mention is quite notable. There's a notably positive sentiment expressed towards Bluesky, described with genuine enthusiasm as a breath of fresh air,
Right.
which invites us to explore, well, what specific qualities make a social platform feel that way, especially compared to potentially more chaotic, overwhelming, or problematic alternatives? What does it suggest about what users are truly looking for in online communities today?
That's a great question. The direct statement, someone said it was a breath of fresh air, and I got to agree, I really like the people I've encountered on Lusky so far, seems pretty clear.
Mm-hmm.
It indicates perhaps a significant shift in priorities for online interaction, maybe a move away from just sheer volume or the constant chase for virality, towards a deeper desire for genuine connection, a more curated, positive, and less abrasive environment.
It does. It suggests that after navigating the glitches, the noise, and the wildness of other platforms, users are actively seeking spaces that foster a different kind of digital interaction. One emphasizing the quality of connection over sheer quantity. It's a preference for community and thoughtful interaction over fleeting attention, maybe.
That's definitely food for thought. So as we bring together all these incredibly diverse, vibrant threads from kingburrito.mpp3, we can really see how this single audio source offered this unique, multifaceted window into the essence of digital interaction.
It truly did. From the frustrating yet often funny technical glitches that shape the experience, to the hilarious miscommunications born from voice to text, to the boundless creative fantasies like the Kimburrito global empire. And finally, to those authentic human connections forged through shared music, humor, and vulnerability. It's all in there, a microcosm of our online lives.
It's a powerful testament, I think, to the fact that even in seemingly chaotic or informal online spaces, there's this rich, complex tapestry of human experience unfolding, demonstrating our innate drives to connect, create, and find meaning, even in the most unexpected digital corners.
Exactly. The enduring takeaway from this deep dive, for me at least, is that whether it's dreaming up a global burrito empire, grappling with cutting-edge AI as a creative tool, or just breaking into song mid-conversation, there's this profound human desire underneath it all to connect, create, express, and, yes, even to playfully dream of world domination via burrito.
Huh. Understanding these underlying dynamics helps us navigate our increasingly digital lives with hopefully more insight, greater empathy for the quirks of online interaction, and definitely, as we learned today, a fantastic sense of humor.
Absolute.
So maybe a final thought for our listeners. As our digital and physical lives continue to intertwine in ever more complex ways, perhaps consider this. How do we best cultivate spaces, both online and off, that allow for both our most serious pursuits and our most delightfully absurd dreams to flourish side by side?
That's a powerful way to frame it. And I hope this deep dive encourages you, the listener, to reflect on your own experiences in digital spaces. Maybe it'll inspire you to even find the Kimburrito moments in your own life, those unexpected insights, those pockets of humor and genuine connection that can emerge when we just take the time to unpack the conversations and interactions happening all around us. Thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.